Now listen, my friends. We are going to be opening up. Now I know some of you folks come on in here, you think, oh, what dumb shit reactionary YouTube video is Vosh going to be picking apart today? Goodness me, that did not take long. Kidsock, thank you so goddamn much for the Twitch Prime subscription, friend, and welcome to the Commune Syndicate or Vosh Pit. Now, I know some of you folks come here and you're thinking, what dumb shit reactionary video is Vosh going to pick apart today? Well, not today, my friends. Or at least not yet. Please, not as one as bad as the transgender one. I just uploaded that to YouTube. I hope everyone enjoys it. Because today, we're not going through videos. We're going to be talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, okay? We are going to be talking about body positivity, incels, the sexual marketplace, sexual dimorphism, and essentially every single instance in which I believe the incels are right. What's your secret technique for bread-pilling boomers who lived during the Cold War? I saw you posting my Discord. I don't think there is. You just have to let them die. Are you kidding me? There's not a fucking chance of bread-pilling these people. They have ingested more propaganda in their lifetimes than you are even close to being capable of opposing. And holy shit, Toasted Soup, thank you, my friend, for subscribing to me, and welcome to the Syndicate. Or the Commune. Okay, we're deciding this stream which one it is, okay? Or I'm deciding. Or maybe I'll alternate, okay? Right now it's the Syndicate. Welcome to the Syndicate. Got kicked off 2 MIG's house servers yesterday. Please don't. No. Listen, my friends. My comrades. Listen. Inceldom is politically relevant now. We don't like to acknowledge it because it's kind of dumb. Because incels started out as a fucking Reddit 4chan shit movement, and on the incels.me or whatever their own personal domain is, just some movement for bitchy misogynists to whine about how they're not getting enough puss, right? Okay. How do we derive relevance from such an origin? Well, I will tell you. At its root, fascism originates from the feeling of disentitlement, of alienation, of disparagement experienced, or at least perceived, by the white working class, almost exclusively by men. Mind you, the dissatisfaction of men, their alienation from the presumed social processes to which they feel entitled. Hey, I see you fucking type it in chat. Listen. Their entitlement, part of which is legitimate, by the way. Look, okay, look at me. I feel like kind of entitled to sex. Not from any one given person, but if I lived in a society where fucking no one wanted to fuck me, I'd be mad as fuck. Absolutely. You get your goddamn right I'd be angry. If I lived in a society where nobody wanted to fuck me and I wanted to fuck, yeah, absolutely. You may not be entitled to sex from any one person, but conceptually on a broader level, yeah, it's a pretty important part of the human experience, at least for sexual people. There are asexual people, of course, but most incels aren't asexual. So the origin of this discontentedness, this is the root of almost all reactionary movements. You have to understand. The privileged group feeling distanced or alienated from the social processes to which they feel entitled. Fascism originates from this, the alienation of the worker, the feeling of disconnection from their community, the feeling that their country, their world is being controlled by forces they can't understand and can't influence. This is the origin of reactionary thought. And incels are a perfect microcosm of this system. I forgot if I'm rambling. Incels are a microcosm of this system. Many incels are reactionaries. Quite a few of them are red pillars or black pillars or whatever. They hate women, or at least resent women. Many of them are fascists. They're outright fucking Trump-supporting white nationalists, da-da-da-da-da-da-das. A lot of them, a surprising number of them, at least in my experience in the incel communities, are actually Indian. They're of Southeast Asian origin, or of the Indian subcontinent. Say hi back. Hello, lowercase. Which is interesting to me. I'm not familiar enough with Indian culture to understand how this relates to their own sort of gender dynamics in their society. But I do know that over here in the States, generally speaking, Indian men are not thought of especially well when it comes to their sexual viability. Come on. Come on. Everyone raise your hand. Wait, hold on. You want to see the text on the screen? Yeah, chat's above. Yeah, chat's above the webcam. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Listen. Now, come on. We've all heard the fucking jokes. You know, Pajit, shit in the street, smells like curry, kind of creepy. We know the stereotypes about Indian American men, okay? I'm not saying I support them. I obviously don't. But it's something to which they are subjected. Now, that subjection has led to there being a pretty, how do you say, a pretty substantial portion of the incels are Indian. I've seen their fucking selfie threads, dude. Got a whole lot of fucking milky brown skin going on in there, all right? Which is interesting, because generally speaking, reactionary movements are sort of cordoned off to the most privileged. I can't browse the top of brain cells. I'd get banned in a fucking instant. Are you killing me? Do you know how much shit they post there that would be a TOS violation? Listen. We keep getting sidetracked. The point that I am laboriously trying to arrive at is that incels constitute a unique intersection of reactionary ideology and genuine disenfranchisement, okay? Listen, a lot of incels are just kind of awkward young dudes who don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they read Jordan Peterson shit, and they're trying to be on the up and up, but they're really creepy, and the women can pick up on their creepiness, but they don't think that women are intelligent enough to pick up on the creepiness. So they go through life like fucking walking through fog, never understanding that their behavior is evidently misogynist to the people around them, so they don't know why they keep getting put off and rejected. Some of them are like that. But a lot of incels, or a lot of self-identified incels, are legitimately just like really unattractive dudes who get radicalized by the poor experiences they've had out there in the sexual marketplace, out there dating. Now, this is obviously subjective. There is not a whole lot of fucking sociological data. I can't go through the analytics to discuss these intersections or their demographics or the specific causes of why and what and how. But today, I want to talk to you guys, my thoughts on inceldom, the black pill, and how it relates to male body positivity. What about men who are very obviously misogynist but still fuck women? It's possible to be misogynist and fuck women. You just have to be either smart about it, or you have to channel your misogyny in a way that women find attractive. Look, a lot of women have shit taste. What are you going to do if you walk into the club and you're fucking like, hey, little girlie, you're looking pretty in that dress. Like, there are tons of ways to be creepy and misogynistic and still get laid. Some of the ways don't get you laid, though, and that's what I see from the incels. The kind of creepy misogyny that's like borderline genocidal, like women have the lower IQ and should know their place. And they have like this smoldering look about them. I'm not going to fucking generalize. When did you figure out this take Vosh video? Because it's actually God tier. I haven't even gotten to the take yet. We're getting to the take. This is going to get God tier, okay? So get ready. Get ready to clip it. Get ready to ship it, because I'm going to say some yikesy shit this stream, okay? I submitted my fucking application for Twitch Partner 5 days ago, and I haven't heard back, and I think the reason why is because they knew I'd be streaming about this today. This is going to decide whether or not I get Twitch Partner, and I am not getting Twitch Partner. So let's start. Let's start with the black pill. Now, I imagine that a lot of you, given the constitution of my fan base, have watched ContraPoint's video on incels. Now, and if you're trying to talk to me in chat, I'm going to have a very difficult time keeping up. So, Hold your horses. Now listen, okay? I imagine a lot of you have watched the ContraPoints video. Now, ContraPoints is wonderful. She is very intelligent. She is very cute. Her video was phenomenal. One of her best videos ever, in my opinion. She talked about something called the black pill. Now, the black pill is the incel evolution of the red pill. I'm sure you've heard about the red pill. It was a big thing on Reddit for a little while. The red pill was a subreddit of people who supported the red pill. And what the red pill was a series of beliefs and values concerning sexual strategy, gender dynamics within a society, and the best way to operate within those dynamics. The basic principles of the red pill are very principally, men are made to lead, women are made to follow, men having lots of sex is okay, women having lots of sex is bad, women are naturally hypergamous, meaning that they will shop around and have sex with the strongest man, or of course this is very heteronormative, the strongest man in their vicinity, and that you, as the red-pilled alpha male, have to demonstrate a series of sexual techniques to overcome the barriers women will put up to keep you from fucking them. It's a very misogynistic, very self-defeating, very sort of pickup artist kind of ideology. The idea is that, like, women are attracted to dominant, commanding, domineering men, so to demonstrate to them that you are that person, you have to kind of treat them like shit, you neg them, you want to keep plates spinning, the idea that you have multiple people you're interested in and you all kind of balance them so none of them gets the feeling that they're extra special important to you. The idea principally is to make yourself a scarce commodity so women will feel more naturally inclined to chase you. Now, some of the principles of the red pill are actually very solid. They push stuff like physical fitness. They push stuff like faking it till you make it in regards to confidence. I agree with these things. Yeah, if you want to go out and get laid, probably wouldn't hurt to work out. Probably wouldn't hurt to be or at least act confident as long as you're not too douchey about it, right? But of course, these little nuggets of good advice are balled up in this big ideological bee's hive of really fucking awful ideas. And I don't need to explain to you why these ideas are awful, obviously. People in the red pill, depending on how radicalized they were, would go so far as to say that rape should be legalized, that women inherently enjoy rape and sexual assault, and therefore it's not really a problem, that men have a right to engage in sexual assault, that women don't even have feelings. A lot of them don't believe women are capable of experiencing honor or love or loyalty in the same way men can, that women are just kind of these automatons, these fleshy robots that move through life and just chase their immediate desires. You say big yikes, but these were not just the opinions of some crackpots on the subreddit. These were the contributors. These were the elite members of the community. They would say shit like this. They really fucking hated women. Now, that's all cool and great, but this is not about inceldom, okay? This is not what incels are about. Because incels don't have sex, or at least they don't think they can have sex. And the red pill is, above all else, about getting laid, often at the expense of women. So, what is the black pill? The black pill is nihilism. The black pill is utter despair and acceptance in the face of one's inability to meet social expectations. The black pill is the recognition that you are ugly as sin. You look like shit, you are socially awkward, you have no redeeming life skills, you will never succeed in the sexual marketplace, your progeny will never come to pass, you will die without siring any children, you will never experience love. The only thing that you can do is lie down and rot. LDAR, that's a very common acronym thrown around on the incel boards. There is nothing to do in life. There is nothing to enjoy in life. Lie down and rot. What the fuck? That is a recipe for suicide? That is a recipe for suicide. Yes, I completely agree. It turns out that if you have some sort of antisocial condition or a malignment that makes you struggle in interacting with others, the worst way to deal with it is to assume this makes you a miserable genetic failure at life and to simply resign yourself to perpetual suffering. This is, as it turns out, not a phenomenal coping strategy. It's actually, get this, a really bad coping strategy. But far be it from me to make light of the struggle of the incel when I have never suffered it myself. Listen, the black pill is shit, okay? It's faux stoicism. It's, oh, just accept your lot in life. No. A lot of the people who are pushing this black pill nonsense are themselves capable of finding love and happiness. They are not irredeemably ugly. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you folks and say that there's someone out there for everyone. That's not true. Some people are going to live unfortunate lives, and that really fucking sucks. And part of the reason why I care about the things I care about is because I want to address that. And I think a lot of the reason why people live unfortunate lives is in part because they don't really understand love. They don't really understand affection. They don't understand social relationships. And this is getting to be more and more of a problem with the dawn of the internet. Every single year, millennials are having less and less sex. Relationships are getting harder to maintain. The average person has less and less friends every year. This problem is growing worse. And I have trouble with it too sometimes. I'm not like come on. I'm pretty obviously, at least not completely socially incompetent. At least I'd like to think so. But sometimes even I struggle. And I think a lot of this has to do with capitalism, the fact that our economy is organized in a way that makes it difficult for us to maintain long-term friendships. And I can preach about that a different day. But the point that I am getting at here is that this is a real problem that deserves addressing. The fact that incels are, at least in their communities, in their intellectual nexi, the fact that they are by and large hateful pieces of shit does not change the fact that this hate stems from a very real social problem, in the same way that fascism stems from the discontent of the privileged working class, or at least the fervor which leads to fascism in many cases. The hatred, the misogyny behind the incel movement is itself a condition. It is a consequence. It is not entirely disparate, entirely separable from the social problems that I want to address. So for today, I am going to set aside the misogyny. I am going to set aside the yes, incels too, and I try to commodify women as another product of capitalism. I didn't say that. I don't know if you're making fun of me or if your takes are even hotter than mine, but I didn't say that. I'm saying that some of the social problems we experience are a product of capitalism. I think the incels' problem with women isn't really a capitalist thing. I think it stems maybe from conditions which emerge from capitalism, but I'm not giving them that I'm not giving them that pass. But for today, we are giving them that pass. We are going to ignore the misogyny, the fact that incels tend to think shit of women, the fact that they tend to be homophobic and fucking racist and the fascist. We're gonna ignore all of that, and we're going to address the root issues present here. Okay? I want to talk about the sexual marketplace, and I want to talk about male body positivity. And last, but not least, I want to talk, and this is a big one, about how we treat the more unfortunate members of our society. And I don't mean unfortunate like homeless. I don't mean unfortunate like socioeconomically disenfranchised. I mean unfortunate like they're just kind of fucking losers. Okay? That's what I'm here to talk about. That's what we're getting in on. So, here's my first point of the day. Let's get ready. Let me switch back to my desktop view. Now, what do you think of when you think of body positivity? Because if you're me, what I think of when I think of body positivity is I think of the fact that for a very long time, women were shamed if they had a fucking big gut whip, big belly lady, okay? Women, at least historically in the past century or so, and longer than that, let's not get too far into the history, but for a while now, women are iconographically the physical representations of human beauty in our society. Men don't really serve that role. There are beautiful men, absolutely, but when you think of beauty, there's a reason why Aphrodite was the goddess of beauty. This is actually a very long-standing historical association. And you know what? If you find ladies just more pretty because they tend to be kind of like smooth and soft, that's totally fucking okay. Body positivity stem from the fat acceptance. Do you think I don't fucking know that, hyena? Get the fuck out of here. Pay attention in class. Listen. For the longest time, for a very long time, beauty and femininity have been intertwined. And in recent years, over the past couple decades, there has been a concerted effort. My goodness. Thank you for making this content. Well, thank you very much, Edgelord 69420 Blaze. I really appreciate the bits, friend. So fucking... You got that name, now no one else can get it. Listen. Over the past couple decades, there has been an effort to indicate to the media, through media, that there are other acceptable female body types, okay? This is body positivity. This comes, as Hyena very sagely said, from the fat acceptance movement. When we go and we watch the fucking movies, 99% of the ladies we're going to see... Now listen, this is a problem with men too, but let's be realistic here. This is mostly a problem with women, because you know goddamn well you see fat and unattractive men cast in movies, okay? But for women, they tend to be fucking Natalie Portman, fucking Scarlett Johansson, hard body, kind of medium B, C cup titty, like skinny white ladies. And don't get me wrong, them ladies is pretty. They look real nice, okay? But that's not what all women look like. In fact, that's not what most women look like. In fact, that's what only an extremely small percentage of the population of women looks like. So we get female body diversity, and we're about to see some pics of ladies, and I checked the Google search results out beforehand. We're not going to see any titties, okay? So put them hogs back in. Look, there have been it's mostly over the past 10 years or so, media campaigns that have made an effort to celebrate women's body diversity. So like, here we go. We've got one woman here who's like pretty slim, and everyone else here ranges from chubby to obese. Okay, so that's a picture. We've got this. This is a little bit more. This is a little bit more tame. But some of the, like, this lady right here's got a wider waist. We've got like that's cool. That's a great thumbnail. Fucking. We've got this I would not... This I would indicate as an example of why body positivity is perhaps needed. The perfect body over a picture of one body type being represented by like 7 ambiguously white women. 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 7.5? Why would the thumbnails? We've got this. This is pretty cute. I think. Look, we've got... No one here is really like skinny, but we've got like some middling body types. These are like some, I wouldn't say average women, because these are attractive women. They pick attractive women, obviously. But in regards to the relative body composition and fat distribution and stuff, I'd say that this is leaning a little bit more closely towards a realistic expectation for what women probably look like, as opposed to, say, this, where all of these models have visible abdominal plates, serratus muscles, rib cages. Again, there is nothing wrong with looking like this. If you look like this, if you're a fucking skinny lady, totally okay. It's not bad. It's good. Have fun. Cool. Obviously don't like starve yourself to look like this. But it's even kind of shitty of me to assume you're doing that. Maybe you just look scared. Just fucking, yeah, go. Have fun, okay? But looking like this is also pretty okay. And what's more, fucking thumbnails. Looking like this is also pretty okay. Okay? Now, this picture right here maybe would not be the best advertisement for a fitness magazine. You know, maybe the lady on the left probably couldn't, hit them laps quite as hard as, say, well, I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions about health, but this is a pretty healthy body type right here. You could probably do some pretty athletic shit right here. Obesity is okay now? Well, what do you mean by okay, MF Zoom? I mean, it's okay to be obese in the sense that if you want to, and if that's the choice you've made with your body, then that's fine. You shouldn't be personally shamed for it. It's not okay in like a ideal health kind of way, but that's not how we judge people. When I'm walking down the street and I'm making moralistic assessments about how I should feel about someone, I'm like, swastika tattoo, bad, fucking LGBTQAI plus flag wrapped around their neck like a cape, good, fat, bad. No, I don't know. Like, they're just fat. That's what they do. Most of the time it's not a choice, though. Yeah, look. We can talk for a while about how obesity is in large part a product of economic disenfranchisement, capitalism, the fact that corporations make shit fucking addictive food that turns you fat and isn't really filling, so you have to eat a bunch of it because that's what is most profitable to them. We can have that convo, but that isn't the fucking conversation we're having right now. We're talking about body positivity. We're talking about representation for people in media. We're talking about what the acceptable range is for what it's okay to look like as a human being. Okay, that is the conversation that we are having about right now. I guess he gets shit because she can't do anything about her body. Yeah, of course. But look, please, fuck, we're gonna get sidetracked so easily on this shit. Look, okay. The point that I'm getting at here is that there has been a media push. This is by no means holistic, by the way. The media, if I fucking open up a fashion magazine, I'm still going to see a whole bunch of skinny bitches. When I say skinny bitches, it's only because I listen to the music, like queer music, okay? I don't think you're a bitch if you're skinny. Shut the fuck up, okay? Don't pretend to be offended. But look, these girls is cute too. Look, they kind of chubby. I mean, not all of them. The girl on far right with the black girl, I assume she's black. It's a fucking black and white photo. She's cute as fuck. Fucking big titty, cute, soft. Whose eyeballs will be hurt? Not that your fucking eyeball pain should be a determining factor in whether or not a group of people get representation in media, but since that's what fucking dudes care about anyway, whose fucking eyeballs are going to be hurt by this shit? No one's, okay? This is great. Good. Fucking go for it. Why are all the fattest neckbeards telling women they need to starve them? I don't... Look, that's not the subject. Fuck! Oh, it's so easy to get sidetracked here because there are fucking million disparate issues. Look, body positivity has, over the past little while, done a pretty good job at increasing the range of acceptable female body types to be seen in media. Now, I shouldn't need to tell you guys this, but I'm going to tell this to you anyway. What gets shown in media plays a large role in what we find attractive. And what we find attractive plays a large role in the level of social disenfranchisement an individual is going to experience. How many times, can we imagine back in the fucking 1950s, okay? It's the 1950s, okay? And you've got all the girls and they're fucking saddling up for the big dance. It's the father-daughter dance, okay? But little Sally doesn't want to go, okay? Because little Sally likes corn chips, if they even had that back in the 50s. Little Sally has a fucking 30-inch waist, okay? Instead of the beautiful 23-inch waist you'll see. Hun, I also think you need to bring up the most important topic. It's okay to be fat. This is literally not relevant to what I'm talking about right now. We're not talking about fat acceptance. I am trying to get to incels. I'm trying to draw a comparison. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And I already did make the point that how fat you are shouldn't treat a person. I literally just said that how fucking much your eyeball burns has no bearing on whether or not we should... Shut up! Little Sally was embarrassed to go to the dance because of the 30-inch waist, okay? But nowadays, we see cuter girls that are chubbier all the time, okay? Let's skip past this point, because I see people saying some dumb shit in chat, okay? I'm going to have to learn to ignore some chat. I can't ignore chat. That was my girlfriend. I can't ignore my girlfriend in chat, okay? I can't... I can't develop those blinders. Listen. Here's some more oh, wait, no, that's the same fucking picture. There we go. I don't know, it's cute. The point that I am getting at is that the exposure of women with pudgier bodies, with less sort of homogeneous appearances, goes a long way towards determining what we find attractive and, subsequently, how we treat the people around us, okay? Now, you probably shouldn't treat people better just because you find them hot, and you shouldn't treat them worse because you find them ugly, but let's be fucking real, okay? We do that. We already do that shit. It's pretty hard baked into the fucking human behavior. I've read studies. I have a big brain, okay? So I'm right. Shut up. So maybe we should focus on expanding what we consider attractive. Now, that's not the same as lowering your standards. I can share a personal anecdote. I used to be really fucking shallow, okay? I used to only be fucking... I would only slam with the fucking skinny bitches, with the fucking small to medium floppies, okay? Lately, over the past few years, I've grown less shallow, and I've come to appreciate people who are fat, or even like fucking big fat, okay? If they're cute, I mean, they have to be cute. Like, I have to be into them. It doesn't mean I'm just into anyone. But my standards have changed. My interests have expanded. And there's nothing good or bad about that. It's just a product of my changing interests as I grow older. But what I have noticed is that it leads to me maybe treating fat people a little bit better, because I no longer, or at least not to the same extent, hold the same preconceived biases I have against people who look like that. Now, why am I talking about all of this when I am talking about incels? Well, I now want to talk to you about male body diversity. Okay? We're gonna open this up. Okay, look, we've got some pictures. This was part of a campaign celebrating men's diverse body types. And look, this is kind of a cute picture, okay? Look at this. We've got, look, a good range of like hairy to not hairy. Actually, I'm hairier than any of these dudes, so I personally feel left out. Excuse me. But we got like, this guy's fat or maybe even obese. This guy has a dumb haircut. That's important. This guy is trans and pretty fat. You can tell he's trans because the little lines over here. I think that's super cool. They included a trans dude. Sort of expanding the broader conception of what a acceptable male appearance is. But the thing is, these campaigns they are relegated almost exclusively to being seen in the inboxes of people who are already interested in the agenda of body positivity. Do you notice how when I type in, oh god, that was porn. Ah, god. Well, whatever. Do you see how when I type in female body positivity, we get not only do we get a whole bunch of shit, okay? Not only do we get a whole fuck ton of results, we get results that directly relate to marketing campaigns being done by like modeling agencies, that are being done by magazines and covers and shit. The reason for that is because there is, at this moment, a monetary benefit in expanding the understanding of what constitutes attractiveness when it comes to women. But there isn't that same incentive when it comes to men. We don't really like have magazine campaigns promoting men's beauty. When beautiful men are in magazines, it's to sell a product, as it is in all cases. Yes, cologne or underwear most often, like a cool, nice t-shirt. But it's never really about men. Men aren't really, like, it doesn't have, like, we don't get like the Carl's Jr. shit. Carl's Jr. ads. No? Not videos? That's not something that you would want to bring up in videos? Fucking... Like, this shit where the attractiveness of a woman is the means by which a product is sold, this doesn't really happen to men. men don't men can be attractive because it is nicer to look at attractive people, but their beauty is not ever used as the delivery method by which a product is sold. The reason for that is kind of complicated. There's a whole fucking sociocultural history to beauty, respective of the genders, and how we relate it to men and women, and how masculinity and femininity play into our understandings of beauty. And these associations have consequences. One of these consequences, and look, okay, can we get some relatability in chat? I feel like a lot of dudes just kind of don't like feel pretty. A lot of dudes just kind of think they just have this body, and they just like, if other people are into it, that's great. Maybe I can make my like face look kind of good. Maybe I can look good from like an angle or two. Maybe like if I wear a shirt, like and I cut a profile and I poof my chest out, I look kind of good. But like pretty? Do you ever like look in the mirror and you're like, fuck yeah. We don't really do that. Guys, women do that. Even women who aren't super confident in their bodies will sometimes take a moment to appreciate their better elements. We don't do that. And that really sucks. Because as somebody who is pansexual, I don't really care about the gender of the people that I'm sleeping with. I think that everyone has at least the capacity to be beautiful. And I would like to see masculinity regarded as such. We regard smoothness, hairlessness as components to beauty. That's why when we see the fancy-pantsy Calvin Klein models, even these like hyper-masculine, muscular men, they're always completely shaved bare. No leg hair, no chest hair, no arm hair. Even in these totems of masculinity, we lack some of the most I suppose, iconic characteristics of the developing male body, or of the typical developing male body. You can be like a girl, and even if you're a little bit pudgy, you can kind of like, ooh, whoa, I got big booby, you know? I got the fucking wide hips. I have a soft belly. There are positive aspects. There are fucking guys out there like, fuck yeah, I love thick bitches. Hell yeah, I love fucking slapping the fat cheeks. I love the soft bellies. I love the oh whoa big boobies. That's pretty common. There aren't very many guys out there anymore who are like fucking throwing hate. At least not in my experience. This probably happens a lot in more conservative circles, but broadly speaking, I feel like there's a lot more acceptance of like, oh, you're like a 140 pound, 160 pound, 180 pound chick. You like kind of like soft, maybe a little pudgy. Cool, fucking whatever. This doesn't really happen with guys. Now, there are a lot of women out there who are fine with guys being pudgy. Women out there who are less discerning, women out there who don't mind. There are women out there who like it, of course, but by and large, when I see women who shack up with kind of chubby dudes, it's not because they're into chubby dudes, it's because they don't care that much, but they are more attracted to the fucking rippling dude. They just look for other characteristics when it comes to determining a partner, like the personality, ability to make them laugh, so on and such forth. The consequence of all of these confluent social factors, as they, on Twitter enough, people lust over chunky dudes. I'm aware of the fact that people on Twitter lust over chunky dudes, but if you think there's the same common social acceptance of chunky dudes as there is for chunky girls right now when it comes to getting laid, you are literally delusional. I am well aware of the dad bod trend, but the dad bod trend isn't so much about celebrating the physicality of that body as it is about celebrating the characteristics that are associated with that physicality. The strength, the masculinity, the size. You don't talk much about dad bods and fucking 5'5" guys, do you? No, it's got to be big guys. It's just another way of fetishizing like the older kind of like dude. And women have been fetishizing older dudes for a long fucking time for a wide variety of reasons. I know a lot of women that love the Chubba Boys. I understand. I understand. I understand that there are women who love the Chubba Boys, but we are talking about broader social trends and the capacity for men to recognize their own bodies as items of beauty. Easier for women to find sex than it is to men, regardless of body weight and shape. Yeah, we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Look, okay? Okay. Can we agree on that? Can we fucking agree on this? That in common social parlance, it is easier to commodify and appreciate the beauty of a woman who's got a few more pounds on her than that of a guy. That doesn't mean you find chubby dudes unattractive. It just means that in a broad social sense, we're dealing with certain trends in how the body positivity movement affects different genders disparately. Okay? I feel like this is fairly evident. Because there are a fuckload of dudes out there who are chubby and won't take their shirts off when they go to pools or to the beach and don't feel comfortable fucking getting in the back seat of cars when the car's packed full because they're gonna sit next to a girl and they're fucking chubby and they don't want their chubby belly to rub against the elbow of the girl because they think it's gross and embarrassing and they try and avoid looking at the mirror before and after they get in and out of the shower. Okay, this is like really fucking common. So that's the thing, okay? And inceldom, in my opinion, in large part stems from the imbalance in the sexual marketplace, which originates from this imbalance. Because we know it is so much easier to get laid as a woman than it is to get laid as a man. And I am saying that as someone who does not have trouble getting laid. Listen, I know you seeing me, and you think, oh, he's got a fucking neck beard. Oh, he's kind of chubby. Trust me, it doesn't stop me. Confidence goes a long fucking way. I tunnel through the world, okay? I swim in phallus and wait, phallus isn't organ neutral, right? Phallus means penis. So what's the equivalent to phallus for vagina? Gynus? I don't know. I do it, okay? So I'm set. And with all that said, it's so much easier to get laid as a woman. Now, again, I am talking about this in a very heteronormative, cis-normative context, okay? Obviously, trans men and women are going to have different experiences, and people who are looking to shack up with those of the same gender or sex, they're going to have disparate experiences as well. That's not what I'm talking about. The vast majority of incels are straight men. So that is the dynamic that we are looking at here, right now, today, in this moment. It is so much easier to get laid as a woman. If you're a woman in chat right now, and statistically you're not, because I've seen my YouTube demographics, and like, fuck, how do I get a more diverse demographic constitution of my videos? I don't fucking... Yoni? The female phallus is yoni? I'll fact check that later. I'm not Googling it now. Listen. If you're in chat and you're a woman, you're probably not. Statistically speaking, you're a dude. But if you are a dude, then just close your eyes and imagine you're a woman. You can go into literally any public setting anywhere in this country. I mean, don't go into a church or whatever. But you can go into, like, a bar. You can go on fucking, like, on a college campus if you're a student. And you can just sort of saddle up, like, hey, I'm really fucking horny right now. You want to, like, go fuck? Now, this is not something most girls do to get laid, for a variety of reasons. For one, it takes almost an inhuman amount of confidence to just saddle on up to a complete rando like that. For two, it opens you up to a whole bunch of problems down the line, fucking sexual assault and STIs and what have you. You tend to want to vet your partners a little bit, but the point is, the option is there. You can always lower your standards a little bit further. It is always possible, as a woman, to find someone who wants to fuck you without paying money. Oh, well, thank you, Toasted Soup. It is always possible to do this. It is not always possible to do this as a man. It is not possible to do this for me. I have to put in a little bit of effort. Now, I know what you're thinking. Vosh. With your face, you gotta put in effort? Really? Well, as it so happens, yes. I gotta lay down the smooth moves. I gotta be fucking suave. I gotta make the confidence. I gotta put in effort. But I would not have to do that, or at least I would have the option to not do that if I was a woman. So we recognize then, and no one in chat is disagreeing with me. Literally no one is disagreeing with me right now. So I'm going to move on to the next point. Let us recap, okay? Inceldom is a product of alienation from certain social processes, relationships and sex being the most obvious ones, okay? This alienation stems from the same origin point that leads the disenfranchised working class to turn towards fascism, which makes me concerned that incels, in addition to being a hotbed of reactionaries, are actually a sort of a cultural warning sign, a malignant tumor, the origin point of a lot of discontent that we could address within our society. What are incels upset about? They're upset about the fact that either because they're ugly or socially incompetent or whatever the fuck, they cannot have sex, they cannot find relationships, okay? Why can't they find sex and relationships? Then we take a detour. We say, well, the body positivity movement hasn't done as much for men as it has for women. And what's more, men do not have the same social iconography which lends credence to their beauty. Women are the objects of beauty, not men. Now, this leads to a lot of problems for women, don't get me wrong, sexualization, objectification, commodification, but it does lead to benefits. And if any fucking bitch in chat disagrees with me, I'm gonna run you down, okay? Run you down, up and down chat. Because for all of the shit women have to put up with, if nothing else, at least people want to fuck you. And for some people who cannot have sex, that is everything. That is the biggest difference. That is a huge difference. Not a big difference to me. I don't have trouble. Of course. But to some people. So, now we are getting at the core of it. What can we do to make incels feel less, it was coined by a woman, less disenfranchised from the sexual marketplace? I've seen the incel selfie threads, okay? I've seen what they look like. A lot of them look fucking fine, okay? A lot of them look fine. A lot of them are kind of ugly, but I've seen kind of ugly dudes get laid too. This is by no means like a fucking miraculous event, okay? If we judge ugliness based on what women rate men on like OkCupid, then if the fucking 80-20 rule is right, then only like 20% of men would be getting laid. And while a lot of incels do indeed believe the 80-20 hypergamous fucking red pill theory, that only 20% of men are having the sex with 80% of the women, leaving 80% of the men out in the fucking cold. And I do not believe that is the case. But if it was the case, that would mean 4/5 of men are basically incels or incels in denial. They actually believe that on brain cells, by the way, on Reddit. They'll accuse people of being like incels in denial. They believe that the vast majority of people, pretty much everyone who isn't a Chad, cannot get laid. Incels are just the people who recognize the sort of shit hand they've been dealt. In reality, of course, the majority of people have sex, though it is admittedly getting harder and harder for millennials to have sex, find relationships, maintain friends. So again, we get back to the root of this issue, okay? What can be done? Because we have all of these confluent issues that are cropping up at the same goddamn time. If you can't get laid, hit me up. I dig you. Oh, thanks, friend. I am well taken care of, though. The amount of disparate issues that we're dealing with when it comes to incels is fucking insane. Like, men aren't considered sort of inherently attractive in the way women are, or at least they aren't recognized in the same way in concern for attractiveness. And then we've got the fact that the majority of people in the world, like or in America at least, are finding it harder and harder to have sex, relationships, friendships. And then we've got the fact that we've got like an already existent, like a pre-existent white nationalist movement in this country that's tapping into the same reactionary fears that incels are sort of propagating through their ideology. We've got so much shit, okay? And I want to focus on one very narrow, I want to focus on just sort of a slim element of this, okay? We have to make men beautiful again. Okay? We have to make masculinity beautiful. Now listen, I'm a gender abolitionist, okay? I don't care about men, woman, masculinity, femininity in a broad idealistic sense. But in the here, in the now, I recognize I am a composite of a variety of masculine traits. Many incels are as well. And we, as a society, need to put more effort into media and representation which celebrate the beauty, or at least the capacity for beauty, within men. Not just femboys, because because it's not revolutionary to find femboys attractive, okay? They're boys, but they look like women. Congrats, you've done it. You've made boys cute without making boys cute. Oh, Athos the cat, thank you very, very much for tossing that tier 1 sub out into the crowd and seeing it caught by Kinker911. That's very nice of you. What do you think people can do if they're just not funny? Like, genuinely funny is the hottest trait, so what do you do if you're just fucked in that way? You're right, we'll get to that in just a second. Listen, being into femboys is not revolutionary, okay? It's just a boy that looks like a woman. Congrats, you've taken a man, at least in the gender identification sense, and you have appreciated them for the characteristics which are the least conventionally masculine imaginable. Now look, I love femboys, I'm not hating, whatever. If you're a femboy, have fun, go crazy, okay? But that is not like the solution to making men feel attractive, okay? Neither is like the gay bear shit, because the majority of fucking disenfranchised incels we're talking about here are straight boys. We need to... This is the solution to incels. No, we need to find ways to bring the cult femboys are hot. Yes, they are hot, but I'm saying it's not like you're not like fixing the issue by finding femboys hot. We need to find ways to bring the level of male sexual sort of hyperbolization to the forefront in ways that are currently only experienced by women. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is great at doing this because Araki loves drawing his shit in his fucking boyos in fucking gay as shit outfits, licking each other's faces with fucking lipstick and hair done and bared chest and nipple, and here's a fucking midriff. And none of these guys are gay, or at least none of them are canonically confirmed as gay. They look like this because the mangaka, the person who drew the manga for this wonderful, wonderful franchise, has a very particular sense of style and a very particular sense of beauty. And he pushes it out, and it, in turn, at least in my opinion, kind of makes the idea of men being like hot, but like sexy hot, like kind of like dumb sexy, a little bit more realistic. With the midriffs and the fucking heart-shaped chest bearing. I have many thoughts on this. I feel like I'm going to struggle a little bit to clarify them all. Initially, his artwork. This was a cover back when he was writing Stardust Crusaders, which was part 3 and it was going on in the 90s. Back then, he drew everyone as hyper-masculine. This was part 2, or at least the anime adaptation of how he drew them in part 2. Very big, very muscular men. As time went on, this is part 4, they grew thinner and more femme. But they're still masculine. They don't act different. The people in parts 1, 2, and 3 are fucking square-jawed, beefy men with steely eyes who look into the camera dramatically and say, "And I, by my bloodline, will put an end to your evil today, you monster!" And the people in fucking part 5 and 6 and 7, which all look like this, "By my bloodline, I'll put you down today, you monster!" It's the same. It's the content-wise, in the way it's projected, the masculinity, it's identical, but the appearances have changed, suggesting a fluidity and interchangeability in what we can consider masculine beauty to look like. From the hyper-masculine Jotaro to the distinctly not hyper-masculine Giorno, we can see a wide breadth of potential aspects of male beauty. But right now, if you look in the media, there is one icon of male beauty, okay? Or there are actually two, and one of them is made fun of, and one of them is taken seriously. The one that is taken seriously is the same shit we see in every fucking video game these days, and it's the grizzled, early 40s to late 30s kind of guy with like a beard or stubble, and they've got short cropped hair. It's brown. They're brown hair. They have to be brown hair, and they're kind of like built, and they've got a little bit of chest hair, but they're not like ripped built. You don't see the veins in their forearms. They don't get shirtless that often. Maybe they'll do like once for one scene so the ladies can ooh and ah and shit, but for the most part, they're kind of like the ideal dad, like the fucking ideal grizzly macho older man stereotype. And then we have the fucking underwear model kind of guy, you know, the fucking Hanes model, where they're like ripped and completely hairless, and they're like, if we can, wait, I should specify underwear. Don't worry, guys, safe search is on. Now, there's a lot more interplay between these two elements these days, but when I think about an underwear model, this is pretty yikesy. I'm not going to have this up for long. But when I think of an underwear model, I think of stuff like this: completely hairless, physically flawless, at least in regards to their musculature. And nobody really takes them like seriously. Like, everyone recognizes the fact that they're beautiful, but their masculinity is often called into question. Their derogatory statements concerning perhaps their sexuality, their effete tendencies, their to use a very outdated term, metrosexuality, their propensity for taking care of their bodies. These are pretty much the only two like elements of male beauty that we really see represented in media. That's pretty much fucking it when it comes to body types and like general relationship between masculinity and appearance. We can do so much better than that, though. And I think that doing so would go a long way towards addressing some of the concerns of the incels, because imagine 20, 30 years down the line, people look at men like dudes like me, and look, okay, I'm depending on what you're into, I'm either attractive or like kind of a chubby neckbeard, okay? Depending on what you're into. I'm a little bit chunky, I'm a little fucking pudgy, but if you're into me, you're into me, and if you're not, you're not. But imagine a world in which I, being a little bit chunky, and maybe some of you guys who are a little bit chunky, are being lauded socially in the same way that fucking kind of like thick girls have been getting over the past decade, especially in like Black and Latino culture with the music videos and shit. Imagine if we got that kind of reciprocal treatment. I bet it would make people who look like that feel a lot more confident about their bodies, feel a lot more comfortable going out there and being sexually flirtatious, feel like they're not being put below the pedestal of women. And fucking scrawny dudes too. Yeah, fucking scrawny dudes, absolutely. And fucking you like skinny neck sort of pencil wrist dudes out there too. You're legit too. I'm not just talking about fucking chunky dudes. You fucking too. Not all pretty dudes have to be beefy fucking. Infernal Tree Man, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome very, very enthusiastically into the syndicate, my friend. Why do you think this is a yikes hot take? It depends, because sometimes if you say I agree with incels or I sympathize with incels, people think that I want to like bomb women's gyms or something. Listen. What about short men? And fucking short men too. Short men, tall men, scrawny men, fucking chubby men. I want to see a broader appreciation for the fucking capacity for people to not just tolerate the appearances of men, but to outright appreciate them. Short men get shit on in basically fucking every aspect of society. Everyone makes fun of short men. It fucking sucks, okay? I'm so fucking glad I'm 6'2". Jesus Christ. We can do this, and we can do this by pushing these representations of male beauty, of masculine beauty through media. And then the fucking incels can see up on screen kind of like a chubby looking fucking Seth Rogen looking dude up there. And this Seth Rogen dude isn't doing what most chubby dudes are doing in movies, which is being played off for laughs, like comedy. They've got like the neck beard, like, and they get sweaty when they run, and they get the big like, you're cute, Stacy. Or alternatively, We can have the fucking chubby dudes. Maybe they're a fucking player. I've seen chubby dudes get laid fucking gangbusters. I've seen chubby dudes and they didn't stay chubby for long because the amount of raw fucking calories burnt every day plowing ass escalated them to the heights of fitness. They're now in fucking Mount Swolympus right now, okay? Looking down upon me. They died. They had a heart attack because their body couldn't take all the fucking aerobic activity they were getting fucking people. This is possible. This happens in real life. So why the fuck doesn't that happen in media? If we got this representation, I guarantee you there would be a whole lot less incel bitching about how women have it so much better in the sexual marketplace, which they do right now. That's a fact. They just fucking do, okay? There would be a hell of a lot less bitching in regards to their relative hierarchy in the sexual marketplace, and a whole lot more sort of kind of contented appreciation for the inherent appreciability of the human form. Okay, I'm sorry for ignoring chat. Hard to extend sympathy actually talking to them when they call you homophobic slurs, boo. For one, don't fucking call me boo ever again. Okay, I'll ban you. For two, I'm not saying you have to be sympathetic towards the individuals who are being shitty towards you. I'm saying that collectively their behavior is representative of a problem in society, and we can't stop looking at the problem just because the people who are turned radical by that problem are shitty. I'm 4'2", so it kind of wraps around from being sad to adorable. That is very short. That's kind of interesting. Do you have like a condition that makes you that short? Or, man. No, I mean, hell yeah, why not? I think what you're discussing, the failure of long-term success, current gender ideas would come from imperialism, have monarchy managed been it's totally wrong. Queer theory has been saying for decades. Yes, if incels were familiar with queer theory, this wouldn't be as much of an issue. But you know what? If fucking men's rightsers were actually familiar with feminist theory, they also wouldn't be an issue. And men still suffer certain systemic institutional problems. So just because a bunch of fucking idiots are incapable of understanding basic theory and they run off with their own reactionary horseshit does not mean the problems that they stem from are no longer still our burden to bear. You need to watch this music video still? Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it because this is relevant. Okay, this is relevant. My girlfriend also wanted me to, okay? So I'm making her happy too. Have you seen Catastrophe, the Amazon show? Rob Delaney's character, Dad Bod, do a good job. Blah, blah, blah. I have not seen it. I'm sure it's fucking rad. Dad, make me a man? You're already a man, unless you're a woman or non-binary. I'm sorry, I just do it. All right, I forgive you. Yes, I have osteogenesis imperfecta. It means brittle bones and dwarfism as a side effect. Look, okay, just don't drink any bone-hurting juice, okay? I feel like you might have a sort of genetic susceptibility to it. But besides that, even fucking 4'2" men. 4'2" men to the fucking house, all right? All right, we're going to watch Charlie XCX's seminal thesis on male body positivity, okay? Presented without commentary. My only regret is I have bonitis. Yeah, that fucking sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, there, I'm in the right cam mode. If I may be the academic nerd, the conclusion, but incels are not entirely right. Their approach comes right when arguments instead of what is normal with the critique on the black queer pursuit of the other critique for mainstream audience. That's what I'm doing! Look, no one would argue, incels would not argue with the idea that we need to promote male body positivity if it's presented in a way they could find agreeable. Because incels are constantly complaining about how if you have like a fucking fat dude on screen, they're comedic relief and da-da-da-da-da. If you pose these arguments in really simple ways, their tiny hamster brains can understand without getting mad. Another boys video? What? No, we already watched one. Wait, is this the same music? But
you're trying to play coy like a Game Boy. Hit my phone.
No, I hate this song. I don't care. Look, you saw a chubby lady for a second, okay? That's body positivity. I'm not saying you aren't just smooth brain. Should I reactionaries, please? Okay, fine. All right, look, I tried doing something different. I see what you fuckers want. Okay, we're going back to it. Piece of shit. Let's find out why this guy doesn't date.
The reason why I don't date, because I pity women, that's why.
All right, we found out why. He pities women.